Hey guys, it's Traceface. Can't tell you how many times I have tried to record this video and the demon don't want to let me. But we're not going to let those demons win. I just recorded it again. Took me an hour. And the record button wasn't on. You can't make this up. I can't tell you how many times I have attempted to record this video, but we're gonna get through it. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna happen. I don't care what I have to do. It's coming up. It's gonna go up today. Real quick announcement for all of you. So I am putting a group together. Okay, and it's happening not next week, but the week after, the week of September 5th. So please sign up. It's going to be a group dedicated towards healing from narcissistic abuse. That's faith-based, and it's going to go on for a month. So make sure if you're interested that you email me at tracefaceit@gmail.com. Also, that way there I can get you all the details. Also, I'm going to be sending out the details for the November retreat. So all of you that are interested in joining the retreat that I'm going to be having, I need you to reach out to me at tracefaceit@gmail.com again, so that I can get you all of that information. Please don't forget, guys. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe to this channel so that you could help other people out there get their hands on this information that might be suffering from a demon inside of somebody and what that looks like. And so, yeah, I mean, for many of you that might be new to my channel, you might think that this is crazy talk that I'm about to describe to you. It is not. As a matter of fact, most people that I've worked with, if not all, will admit that there is something seriously wrong with the narcissist, to the point where they felt some of these things that I'm about to describe to you. Logically, it didn't make any sense, but there were these things occurring around them at the time, or within the person that is demon infected. And they're very specific signs, but you have to be paying attention. And you guys, they are very evil. All right, but what they try to do is they are trying very hard to get you to think different and to trick you. That's the entire way it works, okay? By confusion and trickery and all these things. So I'm about to dive into this. If there's some of these things that resonate with you, please leave down in the comments for people some of your experiences, or that you agree, or that this happened to you too, so that more people can get their hands on this information and be able to help themselves and help others out there as well. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is, many of you know that my channel is about narcissism, and it's my belief that these people are demon infected, and they're very specific. They have strategies that they all do. Science cannot explain this. And anyone, again, like I said, that has encountered a narcissist in their life knows that there's something very wrong with these people, to the point where they have trouble even wording it. Okay. To the point where I could have a topic about narcissists until I'm in my 90s every single day, and there would still be another topic about it. So, okay, let's dive into this. Now, in my lifetime, okay, and I've had a lot of crushes on people in my lifetime, okay? And I know many of you out there as well. You had a little crush on someone, Every single person I can think of, okay, that I had butterflies for, I thought that the butterflies meant that this person is the one, or I'm in love, and they make me feel all giddy. But if you notice, butterflies have just as equal amount of nervousness and anxiety as it does excitement. And when I look back at the people I've had butterflies for in my life, it was a warning. It was a warning to my body that something wasn't right with this person. Okay. And that's just something I have observed for myself. But I've also heard other people talk about this. And I don't think we're far off in that concept, if you will, because it's like I said, for me, that was a warning to my body that something is very off with this person and the situation and what you're about to embark on in terms of being with a person that is not of God and of not of good things. The next one I have on this list is they have this like uh it's right away you're going to feel very confused around them. It's a confusion that seems to almost come out of left field. You don't know why you feel confused. You don't know what you're confused about, but you feel confused. Uh, as I said before, Satan is a trickster. So what he likes to do is he likes to send you people in the form of, your next best friend, a good friendship, someone you're going to have a fellowship with, someone that you're going to have a lot in common with. And this is how he does it. He doesn't come to you as this monster that looks horrible and is awful. He comes to you with every single thing you could ever imagine that you would want from someone, and that's how he presents the package to you. uh, and so you have to pay attention to this. So the tricking, that's what he's good at. All right. Yeah, you're gonna feel this like nervousness that's very hard to describe. You're having trouble sleeping. You don't know why. It doesn't make sense. And again, a lot of people think in the beginning that this means that they're in love and that they can't get this person off of their mind. When in all actuality, that's a demon in someone. And this is how it's about to continue to try to control you in your life. I'm getting into it in this list here. The next thing is you're going to notice changes within your personality pretty early on, to the point where people that know you very well, have known you for a long time, family and friends, they're going to be like, something's not right with you, Tracy. What's going on? You're not acting normal or right. You're not acting like yourself. So you're going to start to experience some personality changes, such as, like I'm talking about, the nervousness, anxiety, not sleeping. Maybe you're resorting back to old habits that you thought died, and they're resurfacing in your life again. Pay attention to who has just came into your life. Uh, One of the things I remember experiencing with the very first malignant narcissist that I had dealings with, was this indescribable urge to binge eat. I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and it felt like it was a compulsion that I had zero control over. Like, I just don't even know where it was coming from. It didn't feel natural. It didn't even feel like I was doing it. Okay. And a lot of people describe this when they have dealings with narcissists, that they're doing this binge eating, drinking to excess, anything like this, an addiction that's come on now. A lot of people have food addiction in this world. It's an addiction that nobody likes to talk about, but it's one that a lot of people have encountered in their lifetime. And if you notice, it'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm stress eating," or I'm eating my feelings," and all these things that people will say. Well, it really could be a demon that's inside of somebody that is forcing this sort of behavior onto you that is very unnatural. Because and there's a lot of, I mean, I could do a whole video about binge eating and drinking when there's a narcissist in your life. I could do an entire video about this and how it also happens after you've left the narcissist and why that is. Okay, but demons do have influence over people, and they are going to try and influence you in the most innocent of ways. Oh, what's the big deal? You're having a pizza, happen to eat too much. Who doesn't do that? But this is how they get in, and this is how they're trying to attach themselves to you. So you have to pay attention to these warning signs that I'm describing in this video. Okay, next one on here: sickness, illness, and freak accidents. When you are with a very evil person, they are going to bring very evil things into your life. So you're going to notice that you're all of a sudden getting sick a lot. You um, you have things going on that you never had before. You are falling. Weird things are going on like that never happened before. You see, the demons want to weaken you so that you are able to come over to the dark side and join them. So they're trying very hard to weaken you and make you sick. I've even seen it, you guys, where when you've left the narcissist, you might still be getting sick for a while after that. That's because they have witchcraft that they're performing on you. And witchcraft can mean very evil thoughts that they are having about you, that they want to put on you, that they want you to suffer. They have hatred in their veins for you. And that's all a demon. And the only way to ward that off and to get that off of you is by prayer, being very vigilant to your prayer life and putting on your armor of God and not forgetting that your prayer life has got to come first. Your relationship to the Lord has to come first. And that's how you ward this off. But if you notice that this is happening once this person has come into your life, pay attention. The next one I have on this list is: you seem to notice that you keep attracting the same type of person. I can't tell you how many people have said to me, "Oh, I attract narcissists. I attract them like magnets." Well, you see, the way I describe it is, I have had the same demon chasing me since I was a kid. It just keeps manifesting itself in different people throughout my lifetime. That is why narcissists all strategically act the same. They, to the point where you can predict what they're going to do once you get really keen to this stuff. This is why, because you don't even, on paper, these people are not even anybody you would associate with. So logically, you wouldn't even want to be hanging around with this person. Yet you seem to be attracted to them, and they're attracted to you. That is a demon that knows your weaknesses and that knows where he might have once had you and wants you back. It wants you back, and or wants to throw you off, wants to get you to come over to the dark side. That's the whole purpose of what these people come in our life to do, because they want to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what they're doing. So the next one I have on here is they have this indescribable darkness to them. And you're going to notice it in still photos, in pictures. It's usually when you see this, there's a blackness in their eyes. There's no life in their eyes. Uh, they you feel the darkness around them at times. You can feel that they're very dark people, and it will randomly come to you and you'll see it, and you can't deny it. And it's just a feeling that you get around them. It's like an uneasiness that you'll feel. And if you're paying attention, you'll feel this with that person straight away. You're going to feel it. And sometimes the demon infested person will actually have an intimidation around you. Uh, Sometimes you'll notice, them kind of doing this with you because they are intimidated by your spirit. And you might mistake this for like, oh, the person's shy or they look up to me or something like this. Uh, no, that demon knows your power, and it will know in certain times and it will show it on their face. Okay, you're going to see it come through in their facial expressions, and they're letting you know in subtle ways that they know that you are not over with them, but they want you over with them so badly. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna notice uh the darkness on them. They don't smile a lot. Okay, they're not people that you'll see smiling big smiles in photos, genuinely happy. Because when somebody's genuinely happy, their eyes smile with their mouth. So demon infested people, they don't do that. It's just a smile, you know for a photo, or they can't smile. uh, a lot of times they can be very funny. All right. They can be very funny, and they can have a lot of laughs with you. And this is all part of the, confusing operation. But again, if you pay attention to their humor and their sense of humor and what they actually find funny, it's actually really disturbing stuff. And I'm going to give you guys an example right now. It's funny. Every single and this is nothing against, it's just what happened to me, that every single, cuz obviously I work with men and women on this channel, and I'm not saying that, but it's really interesting to me that every single male I have ever plugged on this channel, their work, what they're doing, has disappointed me greatly after I really saw what they were made of, and saw what they're all about. And I'm like, this person is, so this is a person, and it's sad that I have to say that, but that's the truth. So I'm really leery now of who I plug, excuse me, on the channel. Um, This is a person that I was like, "Oh, hey guys, he's really funny. You should check out his work on TikTok," just 2 weeks ago. And I thought he was just like a cool, funny British guy that had a funny sense of humor, until I came across this video last week. So here's an example of the dark narcissist. I'm going to show you right now.
Princess Diana, Pink Floyd. Last week it was The Wall. I can't even say I'm sorry.
It's tasteless. There's nothing funny about that. It's tasteless. It's dehumanizing. There's nothing funny about that. What is funny about Princess Diana's death? Can you find anything funny about that? And you see this with these people. I found out that this kid, I don't even want to say his name. If you come across this lunatic clown, don't even bother, watching him. He's young. I guess he's 21. And you see this, somebody that young that starts to get a million followers, it starts to get to their head. They start to become very cocky, and people were writing into him left and right, that is not funny, that's really tacky, that's really like, uh, beyond inappropriate. What would you find funny about her death? Like, all these people were writing, and you saw this on his TikTok page, and he was writing nasty stuff back to them, like, "Oh, I'm so scared. I lost another follower. Boo hoo. Dee dee dee. Oh, I'll be so sad to watch you go," and stuff like this. It just, once again, they're not gonna say that, yeah, that was, I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. They're not gonna say any of that. You're just gonna go do it. And who cares? If you don't like it, I got a million followers, so who cares? It's this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about with these, their darkness. The next one I have on this list is, A lot of people, if you talk to exorcists, I've talked to exorcists in my lifetime. I've talked to demonologists. I've talked to priests. I've talked to people that I know in my life who have spiritual gifts. And they will describe that when demonic forces are around, that there's a sulfuric kind of nasty smell to either the room or the person that's associated with demons and or has the demons inside of them. And but there's also another very strange smell that I have noticed, and I've seen people talking about this, and it makes me be like, yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, finally someone's talking about this. The best way I can describe the smell is it could be a very like it's very like earthy, musty, almost like you would take out an old piece of furniture kind of a smell. And it lingers. When the narcissist left the apartment, I could smell that strange smell all throughout the apartment, and I couldn't figure it out. It was just there until it wasn't. And that was the evil that was inside of him. And I smelt it on multiple narcissists in my life. They have a very strange smell to them, and that's because I believe that that's the demons inside of them, and it's that familiar spirit. And people are talking about this, and I think it's great that people are talking about this because it couldn't be more further from the truth. It's a strange feeling you get, and again, if I'm not talking about it, if you're not talking about it, no one's talking about it, but it is true. It is undeniably true. So, along with that, you're going to notice, if you're really paying attention, that thing will manifest inside of the person. And when it happens to you, every hair on your body will turn up. You will feel the chills. You will feel fear, absolute fright when it happens. Their eyes will go completely black, and it happens right in front of you. And this is not like, their pupils dilating when someone's like excited about something or really mad. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, when it happens to you, it's an encounter that you will never ever forget, and it is letting you know that it's there. And people that have gone through this and experienced this have all said it. It's not a normal thing, okay? It's very scary when it happens. But if you're confident in your faith, you can make that go away. And I'm going to talk to you about that towards the end of this video. All right. So you'll notice that. Another thing that they like to do is this sideways smirk that I've talked about before on my channel. And especially when they get caught in a lie, they cannot help it. And the sideways smirk comes along. They love doing the sideways smirk. Sometimes they even do it as like a seductive thing that they're doing. And they'll do this. They all will do this. I've noticed them doing it when I'm talking about like an innocent story, somebody I helped, somebody I something good that happened that I was a part of, and you'll see it appear on their face. They'll just and it makes no sense. You're like, "What are they smirking about?" They're like, "'Cause they're making note of something that you're good at, something that you are that they are not, something that makes them feel weak about themselves, something that they can use maybe later on against you." So take note of that sideways smirk because it is very real. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is you might start to have very demonic dreams when this person is in your life. And I'm talking dreams that when you wake up, your heart's beating, you had some kind of a creature chasing you, or something very bad in the dream, or some kind of very evil face is appearing in the dream. Also, you could start to get like really, really creepy sex dreams. Okay. If you've learned about the incubus and succubus, this kind of stuff can start to happen when you have a very evil person in your life. Uh, and it's trying to uh, change your thought process, change your innocence, make you think about sex as perverted as the devil makes it. The devil can't. The devil has to pervert sex. So if he can't get to you in the physical realm, he's going to try to influence you in your dreams. And if you've noticed that you're starting to have very strange dreams like this, you got a demon in your life. You got a demon inside of somebody in your life, and you got to take a look at that. The next one I have on here is your fears will begin to come true when there is a demon infected person in your life. They're going to start to come true, okay? Uh maybe you have phobias. Maybe there are things that particularly you know leave you very unsettled because it reminds you of things that happened when you were a child in your past, such as rejection or abandonment. And these are your fears. Okay. You're petrified of being cheated on. Gwen Stefani, that was one of the things that I remember her saying in an interview. Like, she was always scared she was going to get married and that her husband would cheat on her. And look what he did to her. That's exactly what he did to her. And so, also, like, if you are petrified of spiders and they start showing up and coming, this you have to take a look at who is in your life, because they exploit your fears. Your fears will come true when this person is in your life. Um, the next one I have on here is you begin to feel a very unhealthy obsession or attraction to this person. And it's a feeling like you can't let them go. Like, they are so important to you and you don't know why. And again, if you were to write down on paper, logically, it makes no sense. It's not even a person that you would putz around with, right? They're living a completely different lifestyle than you, or innately it's not going to work out, but yet you seem to have this overwhelming obsession to them. Okay. See, this is all part of how the tricking of the demons works. And this is what they're doing, is they're making you believe you've fallen in love with someone, or that this person is just like, oh, we're just kindred spirits. I can't explain it. Now, will you find those people in your life? Absolutely. But it's not going to be associated with these things I've got here on this list. Okay. So, yeah, you're going to feel like you just can't, like, let them go. All right, the next one I have on here is they are very, very lust based. So, you're allowing, if you notice that you have boundaries in place, okay, when you are getting involved with somebody intimately, you have boundaries in the bedroom, and all of a sudden you're noticing that they have slowly but surely, little by little, gotten you to inch away from boundaries that you have, and you're engaging in activity that you once said you never would do those things, and all of a sudden you're turning around and, how did this happen? Yeah, because again, the narcissist that is demon infected wants you to come live on the dark side with them, and they're going to work so hard to taking away your innocence, to taking away your god-given spirit that wants nothing to do with that stuff. They want you to come over to their side. That's what they're looking for. All right. Now the next one is, you're going to hear they're going to, every so often, the narcissist is going to actually spit out truths. If you're paying attention, they might actually tell you that they do hear voices in their head, and it's telling them to do things all day long, or it's telling them that they're a piece of crap and that they're nothing and they're losers and all this stuff. Okay, but on the opposite end, you've got narcissists out there, you guys, you got to pay attention to. They are flooding the churches right now. Narcissists are all throughout the church if you are paying attention, and they hide behind the titles of pastors and priests and, deacons and whatever else. Uh, Deliverance ministers, you name it. And they believe that they have spiritual gifts and that the Lord is telling them to do all these things, or God said that God told me to tell you that you need to do this and this kind of stuff. And they're doing this all the time. This is, again, I tell you guys, these demons can quote scripture better than you and I can. They are sitting next to you in the pews. They are laying their hands over you at a service, and you got to be very careful. If you are ever going to work with someone, you've got to know them. You know them by their fruits. Now, are all of us sinners that have weaknesses? Yes, every single one of us has weaknesses, and but if you don't confess those, you don't confess it, you don't repent for it, you still have like forgiveness that you've never worked on, you're harboring resentment towards somebody, uh all those places will allow you to be in a bad place and continue to be in a bad place, and you have to come to terms with that, and you have to admit your sins and be better. And people that have gotten delivered from their sinful nature, they will tell you crazy things have happened to these people. I mean, I have very good friends that are involved in deliverance and things of this nature, and they will describe that while they are helping and praying over this person, that the person will vomit out very black, um, awful stuff coming out of their stomach. I know it's gross, but so many people, you guys, have talked about this, and then they were free and they were delivered, and their sinful life that they once lived, they don't live it anymore. I mean, there's been too many encounters and stories of this happening, from the people themselves to the witnesses around. And I'm going to talk to you about witnesses to God's word in a second here. um, the next one I have here is, if you have a person that's got a demon inside of them, or demons plural, you're going to notice that paranormal or supernatural things will start occurring in your home since you've met them. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, because a lot of the times the demon is inside of them, working through them, and it's not working to keep you up at night. But their favorite thing to do in your most vulnerable time of the day is when you're sleeping. So when you're sleeping, you're at your weakest. They can do these things to scare you, to weaken you. That's when they send you the dreams. And so, um, the other thing is, so many people have talked about the black cloud. It's probably one of the first videos I ever talked about 4 years ago, was the black cloud that I saw in my apartment. And I saw it literally come in the apartment and hover over the narcissist, that I was unfortunately married to, and hang out over and above him. And I am telling you, it was like a telepathic way that it was letting me know that he was watching porn. And don't ask me to describe that, or why I knew it. Why I knew that he was, because he had swore up and down he had stopped that long before we got married. Uh, but a lot of people talk about, they call it the porn cloud. And when you're watching really nasty, disturbing, sinful stuff on the internet, it's coming through and it's transferring into your house. And you think I'm crazy? Start talking to people that have been delivered from porn addiction, and let them start to tell you the stories of things that were going on around them and around their partner, from watching this stuff. And you know, don't underestimate that. uh, think about it. Think about this for a second. All the major serial killers that you're going to learn about, what is one thing they had in common? Porn addiction. They all admitted to having porn addiction. So don't sit here and tell me that I'm a wackadoo with this one. It's bringing very bad things, and if you notice, porn addicts, they have to increase what they're watching, how often they're watching it, and how nastier and nastier it's getting of the things that they watch. Because what happens is they get desensitized to what they're watching. Now they got to up it a notch, and get more demented of the things that they're looking up. And a recovering porn addict will admit this, and they will tell you that yes, it's very bad. It's a very dark, dark, dark place. And don't let Satan fool you into thinking that it's nothing. um Porn addicts, really severe hardcore porn addicts, that's coming from a demon, and that's what's going on there. Now, the next one I have on the list is, pay attention to your animals. Pay attention to your animals. Okay, now, dogs are very protective. Most of them are for their owners, their families. And if you've got yourself a good dog that you've trained well, it's they're through with that puppy stage, and they're not nipping at everything and everyone. And they're a good dog, and you notice that you happen to be at the park, and the dog is looking at someone and barking incessantly at that person. You want to probably get the heck out of there, because the dog is letting the person know, hey, I know. And the dog's letting you know that that's a bad person right there. That's a demon inside of someone. They'll also do it when there's activity in your house. They'll be barking at things that you don't see. And the same thing goes with cats. If you look up the history of cats, cats were worshipped. Okay. The Egyptians worshipped cats because they believed that cats had spiritual powers. And I've had cats and dogs since I was a kid, and they do, you guys. They do. Cats will protect you. They will if there's a spirit in your home, they're going to keep going over to where that spirit is to get it out of your house. I know this sounds nuts, but look this stuff up for yourself. And they also are going to let you know that someone's not a good person, because um, if they have a very friendly personality that comes out and is always like nice to people, and someone happens to come in your house and they take off running and they hide, or they are hissing and growling at the person, it's because they know that's not a good person. This person shouldn't be in the house, especially if the cat doesn't do these things at all. It doesn't growl and hiss at people. Um, Now, the next thing I have on here is pay attention, because demons are very uncomfortable by spiritual objects. Very uncomfortable. Uh, I have watched people look and stare at my cross in a very disturbing, disgusted way. I uh, I have watched people come into my house. I have a lot of pictures of Jesus and statues and scripture quotes in my house, and I have watched certain people come in here and be looking around at them like they're very uncomfortable. And you can see it. You can see it in their face. It's usually when they don't think that you're watching, but you caught it. Now, I have a client that I asked if I could mention this, and they said yes. Obviously not using names. Okay, this client has a twin brother, okay? And you can't make this stuff up. I mean, some of the stories that he told me that he's been dealing with since he was a little kid is quite disturbing. And one of the first stories that he had told me, that his parents couldn't make sense of it, doctors couldn't make sense of it, they didn't even know why this was happening, was it's the total story of Cain and Abel. I mean, he is like a very God loving, God fearing, very good person, and the his twin brother is just the complete opposite. He would actually crawl out of his crib. Okay, so they're in cribs. So think about how young they are. Crawl out of the crib, crawl into his brother's crib, and start beating on him. Okay. Like, how do you even get that idea to do these things? Like, where does that even come from? And so it gets crazier. But one of the last times he had an encounter with his brother before he decided, I have to get this, I have to get him out of my life. He said, hey, I'm coming over, but I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take down that picture of Jesus. It makes me very uncomfortable. Get that out of your house before I come in. I mean, he wasn't even trying to hide it at that point. And if you notice, when they start to know that they will get to a point sometimes that they're either going to increase and amp up the tricks, or sometimes they just come out with it, and you're going to see that they're just going to come right out with it, and they're going to say the truth. And it's crazy. So pay attention to that stuff. They're very uncomfortable. That's why I try to wear my cross as often as possible, because I'm trying to ward them and get them away from me and let them know, all right, that no, you can get out of here. I hope it does make you uncomfortable. Um so um yeah, another one on here is a lot of people that have demons inside of them. Uh, I believe when it gets to a certain point that they refuse to stop drinking and doing drugs, you will actually see that flesh-eating demon inside of them, okay? Um, it's it's indescribable. It's this look that they all get in their eyes, and if you actually are looking at it, it's quite creepy. And they all sort of look the same. And it's a demon that has taken over them completely and is making them say and do ridiculous or horrible things. Um, People will describe, "Oh, when you drink, it's truth serum." No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And if you've ever encountered a family member or friend that has a serious, serious problem with addiction, you know what I am talking about. Okay. And if they already happen to be very narcissistic, well, this just takes it up to an entire new level. Then you got the people around them that enable them. So they're all part of the operation. And it's a very evil one. And people think, well, there's millions of people out in the world that are suffering from addiction and yeah, and think about that the mental health system is failing you guys. It's failing people every single day. Why? It's my belief because these therapists and psychologists are not taking courses on spirituality. They're not educating themselves about demons. This has been going on since the beginning of time. You look back in history, you will find in every single era them talking about spirits, talking about ghosts, talking about paranormal activity, talking about demons. But we've just come so far now away from spirituality because we think that science is the answer to everything. And it is not, you guys. It is not. You got to pay attention to this stuff. Okay, now, before I get into the scripture here that I wanted to share with you guys, think about what narcissists do. Okay, all of them, all of them. Passive aggressiveness, manipulation, gaslighting, triangulation, verbal abuse, slander, stalking, deep obsessions with you. I could go on and on and on and on. Why is it that your narcissist did the same as my narcissist and all the other narcissists? Because, you guys, this is a demon or demons plural inside of these people that are helping aid them to do these things. Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Luke 4:31 through 41. Then he went down to Capernaum, a town in Galilee, and on the Sabbath he taught the people. They were amazed at his teachings because his words had authority. In the synagogue, there was a man possessed by a demon, an impure spirit. He cried out at the top of his voice, "Go away! What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." You see, they knew who he was immediately and petrified of him. "Be quiet," Jesus said sternly. "Come out of him." Then the demon threw the man down before them all and came out without injuring the man. All the people were amazed and said to each other, "What words these are!" With authority and power, he gives orders to impure spirits and they come out. And the news about him spread throughout the surrounding area. Jesus left the synagogue and went to the home of Simon. Now, Simon's mother in law was suffering from a high fever, and they asked Jesus to help her. So he bent over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. She got up at once and began to wait on them. At sunset, the people brought to Jesus all who had various kinds of sickness, and laying his hands on each of them, he healed them. Moreover, demons came out of many people, shouting, "You are the Son of God." But he rebuked them and would not allow them to speak because they knew that he was the Messiah. So I hope that this video helps you guys to understand what exactly it is that you're dealing with here, and to pay attention to people that might have some of the things I've talked about in this video happening with them, because it's just, you know, guys, with me now having done over 3,000 sessions, I've been hearing a lot of the same thing. And it's important that I do so that I can gather this research and know, okay, I'm not alone with this. You're not alone with this. We're not alone with this. This is really going on. And it's time we all start talking about it more because, like I said before, it's been going on since the beginning of time. But now we're made to be, we're made to feel foolish for even bringing it up or making people pay attention or recognizing all these things I talked about today that are undeniable. I mean, you can't make this stuff up if you tried to make it up. All right. Well, I hope that this video helps you guys. I want to just say as a closing to this, that's probably the most important part of this video. Okay. If you aren't putting God first in your life, and there have been times in my life I certainly did not, including times in my life that I completely walked away from it all. All right. Your life is going to go down the crapshoot, and it's going to go down the crapshoot quick. There is something so much bigger than us in this world. And if you can't see that or feel that or experience that in your lifetime, maybe you're just not tapped in and tuned into this stuff, but you should be, because this stuff is so real, and you have to get very close to Jesus and pray to Jesus and pray to get your soul right, because it's our soul, you guys. It's our soul that's going to be going from here. We can't take our couches. We can't take our cars. We can't take our jobs with us. It's our soul work that we've done here that is the most important thing that we're doing. And it's if we can't understand that the way we fight and ward off these demons is through prayer, is through your good deeds, is through coming to terms with your own issues and tackling that straight on and head on. I mean, you can't go out there and help other people if you haven't done the work to really truly help yourself, and you actually shouldn't be. You got to take care of yourself first so you can be the best for everybody else. And I've been guilty of that myself. And having these hard conversations with yourself, they're going to happen when you get close to God, because he's going to put these things into your heart and tell you, hey, you've done all this, but you still got to work on this, and this. And that's why we're different than these people, because we want to change and we want to be better people. And we know that growth is something that continues to happen. It doesn't just stop at some age that, okay, I'm good. I don't need to grow anymore. I don't need to look within. It's everybody else's fault, So I hope this video helps you guys to understanding the difference between someone that's demon infected and someone that might have gotten delivered or is very close to God and puts on their armor of God. You need to learn how to put on the armor of God and be doing that every day in your life, because that's the only way to combat this. And I know that from experience. I know that. So anyway, I hope that you guys are doing well. Please reach out to me if you would like for coaching. I take people, for coaching 7 days a week. And this is my email address down below, tracefaceit@gmail.com. Reach out to me. Get yourself set up with some help, somebody you can talk to. I am Trace Face, and as always, it's time we face the truth all together.